swiftly on.
So we're going to have a look at drawing Stoick the Vast from How to Train a Dragon, which is Hiccup's dad, for anyone who isn't 100% sure. He's quite a sort of generic looking Viking chief from cartoons at least. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle to basically be the start of his head. Now this needs to be really light because you are going to need to put this out at the end. So I'm going to start with a circle. Doing it here so that I've got space down here to sort of do his body. I'm not doing all of his body, I'm only going down to the waist, but that'll leave me loads of space for that. So we start with a circle for his head. Remember, if you're not very good at drawing circles, obviously make sure you keep practicing. You could always just draw around something like a glue stick or something will give you a circle like that. So that's going to be our head. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the nose on. So the nose is going to be quite far down compared to on some sort of characters that you might draw. So our nose is going to be out here, so I'm just going to put a little dot there. And the nose is going to be this sort of shape. It's going to be kind of like a square. It's going to go like that, and then we're going to go down. And then we're going to go across. So we've nearly made a square, but we're not going to do this line here fully. This line we're just going to curve like that. So we've got quite a big nose. So that's going to be our nose, like that. And then we're going to do his eyes next. So his eyes are going to be just a little bit higher than his nose, not right up here. Probably about there, so that's probably going to be where one is. That's where the other one is. You could draw a line across super faintly. You want it to make sure you get them level. And our eyes are just going to be sort of a standard eye shape. So we're just going to do, the top of the eye is going to be a curve like that. And then the bottom is going to dip down and come back up like that. That's one of our eyes, and you want to try and make the eye on the other side the same distance away from the middle, so that's the middle roughly. And that distance wants to be the same here as well, so you want to start it there. Here, you're never going to get both eyes completely symmetrical because we're not machines, so it's never going to be completely symmetrical, but it's always worth trying to get it as symmetrical as possible. Fairly happy with that. Doesn't have to be perfect, you can always go in at the end and fix it if you're not happy. And the next thing we're going to put in is his eyebrows. So we're going to put some eyebrows on him. Now his eyebrows are super thick and super kind of shaggy and kind of not very well groomed, so they're going to be really thick like that. Right away over the top, and the other's going to be exactly the same. Have some random hairs sticking out if you want, like that. Now in this case you don't really want both eyebrows to actually look the same anyway, so it's okay if one's a bit bigger than the other. And that's kind of actually what you're aiming for on this one. So that's his eyes and his nose. So the next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to look at where his helmet goes, because it kind of makes a difference to the rest of the drawing. So the helmet doesn't actually really sit over his head, it kind of just sits on top of it. It's quite odd. But what we're going to do is we're going to go a little bit up from the eyes and we're going to draw a curved line like that. It goes from one side of the head to the other, because that's going to be the bottom of your like shield, your helmet, sorry. That'll be the bottom. Now it is going to look quite small for his head, but that is that's how it's drawn, and that's how it looks in Vikings, in How to Train a Dragon. So you're going to do that one line, and we're going to do another one similar. Like that. I'm drawing it up so it's near the bottom of the helmet. and then we're going to find the middle point. So we're going to find the middle of the helmet, we're going to go straight up, go a very light line so that you can see where we're aiming for with this. So you're not doing a straight line up, you're doing, it's going to be slightly curved, like that. So you're basically making a triangle, but you're curving these edges instead of making them straight. And that's kind of the basic shape of our helmet. Down the middle of the helmet there needs to be, you need to make this line thicker, like that. That's one of the details that's on the helmet. And then across this part it just gets split up like that. And in the middle of each one there's a little circle, which will be some sort of rivet that we used to put together, basically like a fancy an old style nail, basically. Right, I'm going to do the horns on the helmet whilst we're up here. So the horns on the helmet are pretty easy to do. So from the top of this bit, so where you made it thicker, not the bottom, from the top, you're going to draw a line going straight out like that. And the same on the other side. And I would try and make them roughly the same size. It doesn't need to be perfect again, but I'd try and make them roughly the same size. And you can draw another line underneath it that goes a little bit past that line, because then at the end of this line it's going to go up like that to create our horn, and then this bit's going to curve down like that. So we're going straight across, and then we're going straight up and making our horn, make it a little bit curved at the top, and curving round, down and back into that line. And you're just going to do exactly the same on the other side again. Try and make it as symmetrical as possible, but it's not the end of the world if it's not. And also, you know, no two horns are ever going to be exactly the same. So we're going to do that. And that's going to be the horns for our helmets. Right, so once that is done, what we're going to do is we're going to start looking at his hair, so we're going to actually work our way down until we get to the body. So we're going to start with his hair that comes out from underneath his helmet. So it comes out, so we need to go to the edge of the helmet and it's come in a little bit, and we're going to start here, and it's basically, the hair comes out like this and basically follows and goes into his eyebrow, and then it comes out the bottom of his eyebrow, and we're just going to leave it there because that's going to lead into his moustache. And then we're going to do the same on the other side, so we're going to start here, we're going across to his eyebrow, out the bottom of his eyebrow, and then we're going to stop there again. And that's going to be the side where his face meets his hair. Then the bits that come out of the helmet are slightly different, so they actually come out of this bit of the helmet and they kind of stick out like that, and then have kind of some pointy bits on them like that. So the top bit sticks out and then it goes quite thin where your kind of sideburn is, because that's where his ear's going to come out. And then when we get into being in line with the nose, it flicks out like that. So they come out, got jaggedy bits, and it flicks out. And it's exactly the same on the other side, so we come out, do a couple of jaggedy bits, and then in line with this, we flick out. You see how I drew a line across there? We're about in line there. Might need to flick out a bit sooner, but we'll see when we get to that part. So now to, let's put the ears on actually whilst we're here. So the ears are in line with the eyes, or kind of slightly a little bit higher, but basically in line with them. And all you're going to do is little egg shapes, basically. That's going to be one. I'm trying to get the other one in line. You can't really go too far wrong with the ears, as long as you don't make them square. So you can see how square he is. Right, so now we're on to his moustache. So you need his moustache to be able to work out where the beard is, and where the mouth is, and where his chin is, and all sorts. So this is a really important part. So the moustache is going to start right under his nose here, and obviously it's going to go this way. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to do a curved line from here to just under where the ear is. So it's going to start here, and it's going to curve until it gets under the ear like that. So you're going to curve it and then stop there. And you're going to do the same underneath. Join it up, because it's a really, really big moustache, very exaggerated. And you're going to do the same on the other side. Oop, I've gone way too low with that. That's great. And then that's we're doing with all this. And that's going to be our moustache. On the end of the moustache, there is here a little, basically a little square, which is where there'd be some sort of bobble, but it's more likely to be like a steel bead in a Viking. And then there'll be a little flick on the end, some more hair coming out. You can do this bit however you want on the end, it'll be whatever you fancy. And that's his moustache done. So, underneath his moustache, I'm not sure I'm happy with that, but we'll maybe go back in and fix that moustache at the end. But underneath the moustache we're going to do basically like a W shape. So where this hairline would come down, it would follow to about here. So about here and here, so where the circle comes in, so this is our head shape. Where that circle would come round, we need to step in a little bit, because that would have his beard on. Same here, so where it would come round, we're going to step in a little bit. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to draw like a W, like an upside down W. So we're going to go down, like that, and then back up. So we're just basically doing a W. Like that. And then it wants to be slightly forward. I don't know if it needs to be quite that deep actually. Might want to be a little bit closer. So you want to do like that with your W basically. Then in this gap, this is where our mouth is going to be. So we're going to draw a couple of different lines for it, basically just hinting at the mouth. So we're going to draw a line like that. It's the kind of his top of his bottom lip, and then just going to draw another curved line like that to make his other lip. So now we need to kind of tackle his beard, and his beard's actually quite easy to do. It's quite simple shapes. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with probably one of these side parts of his beard, so one of the sides. So coming out from basically this part of his moustache is where we're going to start, and you're going to do a big curved line. So it's going to be similar shape to this, a big curved line comes out this way, and then it's going to stop like that. So a big curved line. These need to be really soft lines because you are going to be rubbing out quite a lot of these at the end. So you're going to go like that, and you're going to do the same on the other side. And then we're going to go to basically like the W of the chin, and we're going to come out a little bit, won't draw a line then, we're going to join up like that. So you'd have these kind of curved leaf shape basically, and we're going to make 5 of those. So there's going to be one there, one here, and then we're going to have one down the middle, but the middle one's going to be slightly different. So we're going to draw that one because it actually it's quite helpful. So from the middle of our chin, if we draw a really light line down so that we can see where we're heading for, that's going to be our middle one. We're going to do another one in between here and here, so you could do a little line to show where that's going to be, and the same on the other side. So we're going to have one there, one there, one there, and one there, and they're all going to be roughly the same length. So this one here, we're going to just do, in fact let's do the middle one first. I did say we're going to do that, so let's do the middle one first. So let's start from here. All we're going to do is that. Basically a long leaf shape. Coming to a point at the end. And then in between these, we're not going to start all the way from here, we're just going to start from here, and we're just going to go like that. Same on the other side. Basically making, like I said, these kind of big long leaf shape in terms of this one, but these other ones are just big long leaf shapes. Right, and then on the end of each of these shapes there'll be a little, it's going to come to a point, and then we're going to do a little band again like we did on the mustache, where there might be a bead or a bobble or some string or something to tie it. Same on the middle one, should be the same on the end of every single one. On the end of each of these there's going to be a little plait. Now I'm not going to go into massive detail into how to do a plait. I'm going to do a really simple one, which is basically where you just, if we were starting it here, let's do a bigger version here. What we're going to do is this, so you just draw a straight line down the middle, really softly so you can see where you're heading. And all you're going to do is go like this. You're going to go across like that. And then the next one across like that, the next one across, until you get to the end of the line, and the other side, starting there, across, 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 across. Not going to make perfect plaits, but they'll look alright for what we're doing. Because we're only doing them tiny, they're only little tiny ones. So I'm just going to go. Got another little bead on the end, another little flick of hair coming out the bottom. I'm not worrying too much about getting these perfect, because actually they're quite a small detail. In the grand scheme of things you probably won't see them all that much, although I don't like that one because it's not really pointed in the right way. So we'll do that one again. You can see, not perfect, but what we're doing, I think it works alright. Right then, so at the moment it doesn't really look much like a beard. I mean, it kind of does, it looks very odd. So this middle one here, we're kind of going to hint that this is actually a bigger plait. So where we've got this shape here, we're going to split it up with some kind of triangle, some sort of leaves within leaves basically. So I'm going to do a little, do a few little leaves like this. So here we're going to go like that, and on the other side we're going to do the same, and then we're going to do that. So we're just hinting that it's actually hair and not what it kind of looked like before, which was a bit like a leaf, to be honest. So I'm only going to do that for the middle one. These ones here, all we're going to do is a little line like that to show that it's hair and pulled into a bobble. And do that on all of them. Starting from where we've come together at the end and going like that. Right then, so now we need the kind of extra fuzzy bits of the beard. So where we stopped here underneath the ear, we're going to do some kind of random little flicky shapes until we meet this part of the beard. And you might just do a few random hairs sticking out, and then you can do the same on the other side. And just do literally absolutely random flicks, almost like you're drawing fire. Little random flicks like that. And then on the inside, we're going to go round from where we were here, and all we're going to do is we're just going to draw some kind of squiggly triangles just to make it look a bit more, make a beard a bit more interesting. So we're going to have some random bits that are sticking out. Our moustache, we're going to put a few random hairs on as well, just to show that it is actually hair. And that is pretty much our beard finished, I think. Yeah. So, let me quickly rub this in because that's not needed anymore. Have a quick go at doing his body. So for his body, all we're actually going to do is start basically in line with the moustache. So where the moustache is, we're going to go across, and all we're going to do is draw a diagonal line going like that. We're going to go quite far out, and then we'll just stop. It's not going to need to go much further than that, and the same on the other side. Now, with him being, you know, a warrior, he's very broad-shouldered in this, so his shoulders are super wide. So what we're going to do is we're going to decide how wide we want his shoulders to be. I would suggest probably about in line with where this comes out, where this little plait ends. So where you get to here, probably about there, it's probably going to be about right, and I'm going to roughly try and get the same on the other side. That's going to be how wide his shoulders are. Don't think that's too bad. Obviously it's a cartoon, so it doesn't actually matter how wide you make his shoulders. You can make them kind of as wide as you want. You just might end up looking a bit like a giant. Right then, so on each shoulder he's got one of these kind of shoulder pads on his armour. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw an oval. So your oval is going to need to be between the top of his beard here and where his shoulder would be. So you want to draw a really big flat oval like that. Quite a tricky thing to draw. And we'll draw another one. It's roughly the same on the other side. Like that. Fairly symmetrical. That one comes out a little bit more, but we won't worry. Then on the inside, I mean, you could now rub out everything that's on the inside of that if you wanted to get rid of those lines, because we are going to draw something on the inside. And on the inside we're going to draw another oval, but slightly smaller, like that. So they should both look like that. And then again, like I said with the rivets on the helmet, we're just going to draw some rivets all the way around, little tiny circles. And draw as many of these as you want, or as few as you like. Like that. And if you want to make it look a little bit more 3D, you can draw a little line coming down from there, and then draw another curve following the bottom of your oval until you get to there. Same on this side, little line down, just leave a gap and just follow that shoulder pad all the way around like that. And that's your shoulder parts done. So from there, basically his shoulder comes out like that. So we're going to ignore that bit now. So we've got out the width of our shoulder, and all we're going to do is we're going to go diagonally out and then down like that. Same on this side, so we're going to go in the middle of our oval, diagonally out and then down. And that's going to be where his shoulder is. That's going to be where his arm starts. I've made him very, very broad shouldered in this picture. A lot more broad shouldered than the first one that I drew. So here we've got his kind of t-shirt that he's wearing. Well, it's not really a t-shirt, but it is. And we're going to go down, and we're going to go up and make a little V like that. And then that's just going to go down like that. So that's going to be on top of his t-shirt. And do a similar thing on the other side and come down. This one we're going to make look a little bit more tatty and ripped, because I'm sure he's fought loads of dragons in this, so it's probably not going to be in the best of shape anymore. And that's going to be top of that one. So we need to put lines in for where his torso is, so his body, and we're going to do that by kind of going in the middle of our shoulder pad and coming down and starting there. And all we're going to do is just draw a curved line like that. And the same on this side, curved line coming down. And that's going to be roughly where his torso is. Now you want it to be curved, because if you do it straight, it's going to end up looking like a robot. Like that. So then his arms are basically just going to be big and kind of muscly really. So we're going to go like that. So we're going to do a little curve, and then we stop, so that's going to be like the top of his arm. And then we're going to do another curve, which is going to be like the back of his arm, which that's where his tricep is if you know your muscles. And then from there we're going to do one more, which will go down to where his wrist is, and we're going to stop there. It's not going to go that far, and join back up like that. So one sort of bulge from the top of his arm down to where his elbow would be, and then down to his wrist. And we can do the same on the other side. Like that. And we'll do the same on this side. Bulge go down, another one, and then down to where his wrist would be. And then on the arms, you're just going to put some random hairs just on his arm. Bit like Homer Simpson style hairs on both arms. Put some on near the elbow and the arm. There we go. Right, so across his torso we're going to draw a big belt, because he wears this massive, kind of looks like a bodybuilder's belt, a bit higher than that actually, like that. And then you want to make it really thick, so it's just a big curved line going across, and then in the middle he has this oval kind of belt buckle going on, for over in the middle. More rivets all the way around. Like that. Then on the actual belt, we have more rivets. They go in this kind of dice formation. Like that. And then we also, on his wrists, have these kind of arm guards, which are similar to actually what he's wearing around his waist. Go across like that, and across like that, and all we're going to do is draw bands across it like that. On each band we're going to put rivets. That's his body, or as much as the bodies we're going to do, finished. So we still need to do a couple of details up on the head, because we haven't done any eyeballs, and we've also got some sort of lines we need to do to kind of make him look a little bit grumpier and a little bit kind of older as it is. So for the eyes, all we actually need to do at the moment is draw a little circle in both. And then a little circle in the middle of that as well. And there can be our eyes. Then up here, so on his forehead, we're going to give him some kind of wrinkly eyes, and also these will make him look slightly grumpier. Then when he's watched the film, we'll know he's not exactly a happy guy, well, not for most of it. And then we're going to have a random line that comes down like this to kind of show where his cheekbone would be. Same on the other side. And that's way too big. Just like that. And then we're going to do some little crinkle bits on his nose. Again, just to make him look like he's kind of scrunching up his face. And then we just at the top here want a little bump. And then we'll go into his nose there. And underneath both eyes, we're going to do a bit like a little bag under his eye. Like that. And that is our pencil drawing, I think, pretty much finished. Again, you could go in and put some texture lines on like the helmet, and the same on like the horns. You might put some lines on it like this, just to make it look a little bit less flat. But if you're going to colour it in, I'd suggest maybe not doing that, because you're probably going to end up going over it anyway. So that is our drawing finished. I'm going to quickly have a go at colouring it in. I might go over it with a black pen, I'm not sure. I quite like it in pencil actually, so I might just go over it with some pencil crayon and give it a quick colouring for you, and then we can have a look at what it looks like when it's finished. Right, so that's my drawing of Stoick finished. I definitely could have put a little bit more effort into colouring it in, I would have said. I did it quite quickly, which you can obviously tell. But hopefully you've enjoyed having a go at drawing Stoick, and I'd love to see them as always. So until next time, keep on drawing.